Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and this is the Disability Show. Alright, so let's get started off with this week's tip. Now, as you may know, those who have been here for a long time know I did a on-location video last year about how to do the Disability Pass, or DAS Pass as it's officially called down at Disney. But today, for today's tip, I want to talk about that once more. Now, I know there's a lot of people who go to Disney that have special needs and disabilities and stuff. And sometimes it gets hard for them, and a lot of them don't know that Disney actually does have a Disability Pass service. So, what you do is that you can go to any one of the 4 parks: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom. You can go to the guest information at the park entrances and ask to get the Disability Pass. Or, if you're at the Magic Kingdom, you can just go into City Hall on Main Street. They can give you the pass, they'll ask you some questions, take your picture, and then they'll give you the little pass. Now, how it works is that they'll scan your Magic Band, and the pass will be on that band for the whole trip. Now, how it works is you go to any ride you want, any ride at all, and you just ask if you could get your Disability Pass for it. So what they'll do is that they'll use an iPad to scan your Magic Band, and they'll give you a designated ride time, like the old paper FastPass system. Look it up, kids. And for you to come back and ride it. Now, here's the catch. You can't use your pass for anything else until you've ridden the ride that you have your Disability Pass for. After that, you can use it however you want. And it's good for all kinds of disabilities. Autism like me, Down syndrome, and people with limited mobility, which we will talk about on next week's show. And make sure you get, and if you're going to Disney with someone with disabilities, make sure they know about the Disability Pass so it can get a whole lot easier for them. That way they could plan things a lot clearer. Alright, so that's this week's tip. As always, if you have any other questions on how to do Disney with people with disabilities, let me know in the comments, and I'll get into a future episode. Now, let's get into this week's top 5. So, yesterday, the modified Christmas festivities have begun. When I say modified, I mean socially distant, obviously. So, this week I want to talk about the top 5 things I'm really going to miss about Walt Disney World at Christmas. Number 5 is, now please know that I haven't heard anything about them coming back yet, but the Reindeer Wranglers. They're the band in Frontierland, and what they have been performing at the Magic Kingdom at Christmas time for many, many years. And I've only heard about I only first heard about them when I watched them in my December trip last year. If you haven't seen that video yet, scroll down, and it's part of the new playlist I just made called Christmas, so make sure you check out that playlist. But they are a good group. That video I filmed was great, where they were dancing around with a young boy with Down syndrome, and it really much represents what this channel is all about. Disney for people with disabilities. So that's my number 5. At number 4 would have to be the gingerbread displays at the hotels. Now, Disney said they're not doing any of those displays this year. No giant gingerbread house at Grand Floridian. No cookie carousel at the boardwalk, at the beach club, and no transatlantic beach chocolate display at the boardwalk. And I think that makes sense. That way they're not drawing too much crowds. All right, number 3 would be the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Parade. Now, I know they're doing special holiday cavalcades, what the special Mickey and Friends Christmas Cavalcade, the Princess Christmas Cavalcade, Goofy's Christmas, the Toy Soldiers with the Main Street Philharmonic, the Dapper Dans, and of course the Santa Cavalcade, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same when they're just in separate parts. And hopefully things get back to normal next year, but until then we got these cavalcades, which I think are very good. I've seen the videos, so make sure you check those. Now, number 2 would have to be the Citizens of Hollywood Holiday Glee Club. Now, as I mentioned last week, the Citizens have been laid off for now. For now, at least. For now. But I was very happy to see them do Glee Club last year. Pity that it rained halfway through the 12 Days of Christmas thing. But the video, again, part of my Christmas playlist. Make sure you check that out. And of course, the number 1 thing that I'm going to miss about Disney at Christmas this year, the lights on Cinderella Castle. Now, instead of lights this year, they have projections. The projections change every 15 minutes. I saw in one of the live streams I watched last night, but it's just not the same without the lights, you know? But I'm glad they're doing something with the castle. I'm glad it has a special holiday touch, though I wish they could add just a tiny bit of lights on the castle this year. So, that's my top 5. Now, for this week's miscellaneous segment, yesterday, while watching some of the holiday live streams, I was surprised to see the Muppets back in Liberty Square. Now last year I saw the Muppets do the Great Moments in History ride of Paul Revere, and they haven't done any of that since the parks reopened. Well, they've been a seasonal show, but they haven't been doing that because of social distancing ever since the parks reopened. But I was surprised to see that some Muppets are now interacting with guests outside of their windows on Liberty Square with Christmas banters. I think that's great. And if Disney can do that with the Muppets, they can do that with a lot of their seasonal entertainment or laid-off cast members. I think this is a test to see if they can really bring back things that people care about as socially distant and interactive. I think they could easily do this with all of those who've been laid off. I think they can absolutely do that. So, that's this week's show. If you want to check out, make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up, and also like and subscribe to the Big John Network so you never miss and click the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. Also, check out my good friends Beth at Best Disney Adventures. She has some great streams coming up. She's going to be at Disney next couple of weeks with her friends, and Amy and her friend CJ, who also does Disney Planning Guide on YouTube, where she does Diz Week's News every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check out Beth and CJ. They do great stuff, as well as my friend Julie over at Dream to Stream. She does amazing Disney Parks live streams. Check her out. Check out Dream to Stream on YouTube and Instagram. And as always, for the latest attraction news, make sure you check out my friends at Attractions Magazine. And until next week, may the mouse be with you.